Wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. Good morning, Rachel. We got a lot to discuss. The craziness never stops. But first, let me cover my ass, no Diddy. Thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show, no filter, are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Happy. Hump day, Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope everybody had a great Tuesday. Hope y'all enjoyed some good food, perhaps tacos. Who knows? Good morning, Libby Bear. Good morning. Anitra says, morning, Flo and the breakfast crew. Good morning, the Flow Show fam. Good morning to the Wake and Bakers. Special morning to the Wake and Bakers. How is everyone feeling today? Let me get a little adjustment on this. Maybe I want to sit like this. Yeah, I like this a little better. Well, yeah, everybody, this is so much to talk about. What's going on, Sybil? Good to see you in the live. Sybil says, happy Wednesday, Flo and family. So, y'all, we got a lot to talk about. A little random Diddy story went viral with your boy Tyson. Not Mike Tyson that bites your ear off. We talking about the model, Tyson Beckford from back in the day. He had a crazy story about Diddy. He got a book coming out. Talk about that a little bit. But with explosive, Mark Epstein came out talking about doubling down on everybody saying Trump is full of it. Like I tell you, I'm just reporting the news, and reporting was coming across my timeline, but this thing got Trump in some hot water, this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. But we're gonna get into that. Oh, by the way, y'all, I ain't gonna go into it, but I had this Airbnb. I'm about to leave this Airbnb the worst review I've ever left anybody of all time, of all reviews. I am going to take my time and I'm going to get surgical. I'm going to get surgical with this bad review. And maybe I'll tell the full story at a later time because it's a long story. And I don't want to take up this episode telling this Airbnb story. But I just want to let y'all know I'm crafting this bad review. This bad review will be the worst, best, worst, bad review of all time, of all reviews. Long story short, I just hate when people go too far. And then I got to go too far. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to go too much into it, but I just want to let y'all know what's up with this. Why the chat's not coming up? Oh, there we go. The glow is working, somebody said. Good morning, Island. Yeah, the glow is working with that window, ain't it? So, crazy story. Before we get into all this mess, let's make some little announcements. Man. Oh, man, yeah, this Airbnb. People aren't satisfied until you show them your power. I sit back and let people just talk, because I know I can smash people. Like an elephant walking through the jungle and you see an ant, you don't even smash it because you know you could just step on it and smash it. But sometimes people go too far and they make you go there. And this particular Airbnb, I hope they watching this I hope they watching this. Y'all ass is grass. I have excellent reviews on Airbnb. I've never had an issue. I had one issue like 6 years ago, and it wasn't my fault. I rented an Airbnb for somebody else, and they did a little too much They did a party. That was like 6, 7, 8. It might have even been 8 years ago. It was a long time ago. But since then, I had no issues with nobody at Airbnb. They love me. This particular motherfucker right here, though, they gonna get it. But anyway, y'all, so I don't know, did y'all see the story? You know, all these Diddy stories coming out now. And it's the story involving Tyson Beckford, the old model, Diddy, and Diddy's former stylist, who was Biggie's former stylist. Oh yeah, thank you for that. Rest in peace, Ozzy. I definitely remind me to definitely show Ozzy some love towards the end of the show. I'm glad you reminded me of that, Steph. That news is crazy. I said, like they say, it always come in threes, don't it? I don't know who the third person is. I hope it's nobody, but it always comes in threes. But yes, rest in peace, Ozzy, the rock star. Did y'all know Tyson Beckford had pulled a pew pew pistol or Mossberg pump out on Diddy before? Because I didn't have that on my bingo card. I never knew Tyson and Diddy had any altercation. So this is a crazy story. So Tyson Beckford, he was on the Breakfast Club the other day, and he told this story about how he ended up pulling out a weapon on Diddy. And listen to this story. So Tyson says he was at somewhere in New York. He was at a tattoo shop in New York. Yeah, so look, Tyson Beckford is at a tattoo shop in New York. He said he was talking to someone who was supposed to be a friend. This is a while ago. This was in his prime. Said he was talking to somebody who was supposed to be his friend, but turned out not to be his friend. I'll tell you about that towards the end of this story. So Tyson Beckford is talking to his friend, a stylist that used to work for Diddy and also Biggie, which was working for Diddy. Stylist by the name of Groovy Lou walks up on the scene. Groovy Lou, Tyson said he knew Groovy Lou. Groovy Lou, Biggie used to rap about Groovy Lou. Groovy Lou styled Biggie, and I guess him and Diddy had a relationship prior to that, and ever since. So Groovy Lou walks up with some young lady. Tyson says, Groovy Lou says, "Hey, come take a picture with this young lady, or I need you to take a picture with this lady, or can you take a picture with this young lady?" He just kind of rudely, Tyson said he kind of rudely interrupted him and his friend talking, Tyson and his friend. So Tyson said, "Hey, man, I'm in the middle of, talking to somebody. We talking about something. Hold up." And he said, "Man, forget what you talking about." This Groovy Lou says, "Forget what you talking about. Come take this picture with this female." Like I said, basically kind of being rude about it. So then Tyson said, don't be, hey, bro, don't come at me like that. I'll get to the picture after I get done talking. And then he said, "But don't talk to me like that." So then Groovy Lou says, "I'll talk to you how I want to talk to you." And I'm like, okay. So then Tyson said, he like, "Damn, bro, what's all this smoke about?" Basically, in so many words. Next thing you know, Tyson says Groovy Lou swings on him. Now him and Groovy Lou fighting outside the tattoo shop. Tyson says, in his words, he beating Groovy Lou up. So he says He slams Groovy Lou into a wall, but when he slammed Groovy Lou into a wall, he hit his head. His head started bleeding. He said he ended up needing 6 stitches from throwing himself into the wall and Groovy Lou into the wall. So he said the police rolls up. Somebody must call the police. So he said when he hear the police sirens or whatever, him and Groovy Lou stop fighting. They stop fighting. And they calm it down. When the police get there, they act like nothing really happened and kind of play it off and say everything's okay. Police leave. The police leave. Once the police leave, Groovy Lou runs around the corner and Tyson gets back to talking to his friend at the tattoo shop. Well, right around the corner was directly around the corner was, I guess, Diddy's studio. So he said Groovy Lou goes to Diddy's studio or whatever, or office. Maybe it was Bad Boy office. Some Bad Boy office or studio was right around the corner. I believe it was the office. Tyson says Groovy Lou comes back. What's up, Juice? Y'all see every time the show starts, here comes Juice. So Groovy Lou comes back with Diddy and more of Diddy Bad Boys goons or whatever. Tyson says his friend, who was supposed to be his friend, runs. So the guy that Tyson was just kind of sticking up for and talking to runs when King, come here real quick. Since you popped in this camera, come here. Y'all, everybody say what's up to my son. Since he popped in the camera, I want him to say, what's up? This is King, and that's his dog Juice. I told you, whenever you see Juice, where you at? Juice. Whenever you see Juice, you're going to see King. So King, that's the first time you've been on the live stream. Say what's up. Tell everybody. Thanks for the birthday wishes. All the birthday wishes you got. All right, that's enough. He that was a lot of words. He a man of few words. He about to go play basketball or do something. But they said, hey, King, come here. Look, you got to see your shout outs. Show them, you got to show them some love. Felicia says, happy birthday. Fire Glory says, hey, King and Juice. Steph says, hey, King. Melissa say, what's up, King? They say, there's Juice. Hey, King, good morning. Hey, King. It's a lot of them, but they say, what's up? Appreciate y'all. So let me get to this story. So his friend leaves. Now it's Diddy and his goons all against Tyson. So Tyson says he backs up. He has his Land Cruiser parked over like maybe a little 30 seconds down or something. So he backs up. And Diddy and Groovy Lou, everybody talking shit. And then Tyson goes in his truck and pulls out his pistol grip pump, Mossberg, whatever the hell he said he had. And he points it at, he said, I only got 5 rounds. He said it was a lot of them. He said he told Puff, a.k.a. Diddy, you going to get the first one. And then some other big security, he said, you going to get the second one. And then so he says, Diddy gets on the phone calling his manager, talking about Tyson's manager, talking about your boy here tripping, and they get to arguing back and forth. And Tyson said he almost killed Diddy. Long story short, Tyson said he got a book coming out talking about all this stuff and going into more details about him and Diddy's relationship. He said Diddy, they haven't been cool ever since. And he said Diddy knows not to fuck with him, but he said he literally did pull his gun out on Diddy and his boys in New York because they tried to jump him. I was like, where was these stories 20 years ago? It's funny how they kept all this shit under wrap, but it's just, and you never heard about Diddy. If this story is true, And I would hope Tyson wouldn't make up a big story like this and be lying. So let's assume it's true. You never heard about Diddy doing nothing else, Tyson. And by the way, Tyson Beckford is Jamaican. Y'all know Jamaicans could be crazy. You never heard Diddy doing nothing to Tyson Beckford after this story or after this or ever again or ever, which is why it just goes back to the point I've always made is Diddy is a he's a bully, y'all. He's a true bully. He said Tyson Beckford's exact words was, I could have saved people a lot of headache and a lot of grief if I would have just took care of Diddy then. But he said, but then that would have ruined my whole career. And what would I be? I just thought that was a crazy story that I can't believe that we never heard about. And it just points to the fact that Diddy went around thinking he could bully and harass whoever the fuck. And according to Tyson Beckford, he ran into the wrong person that day. And he said, even to this day, Diddy know not to fuck with him. So shout out to Tyson Beckford for standing up to Diddy, at least apparently in the story that he told. So I thought that was crazy. Crazy work. What else we got here besides these fucking Airbnb people that's about to get their ass roasted and cooked? Tear up their reviews. I'm about to tear these Airbnb people reviews up. They lucky I can't link their stay thing to my story. I would love to destroy their reviews. They doing too much. They insensitive and they need to be cussed the fuck out. They do. Hey, Beach Girl, look at Beach Girl. Who got in the building today? With all these Diddy stories, I love me some Tyson stuff. Steph said she love. Hold on, let me go back. Steph said she love her some Tyson. Steph said she love her some Tyson. Lily said we have the best family here. We definitely do. We definitely do. We definitely have the best family here for real. Hey, Punk Rock Girl, what's up? Just made me tear up. Today's my favorite uncle's birthday. May he rest. Great man were created on this day. Oh, okay. What is today's date? Shout out to your just made me tear up. Today's my favorite uncle's birthday. May he rest in peace. Great man were created on this day. Yes. And especially the 23rd. The 23rd, my son's birthday is on the 23rd day. Juice, his birthday is on the 23rd day of September, but it's on the 23rd day. My brother's birthday is on the 23rd day. Any of y'all got any special people in y'all lives whose birthdays are on the 23rd day of the month? I believe the 23rd day of the month is a special day for some reason. I'm surrounded by 23. I got 23s all over me. But did y'all see Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, has come out saying that Trump was absolutely best buds with Jeffrey Epstein and think that Trump is lying about a lot of shit. And welcome to the Flow Show fam. Thank you, Melissa. This is going viral all over the internet, y'all. I know Trump wish he would have never started this shitstorm. It is not going anywhere. Calling the Jeffrey Epstein thing was a hoax. Calling it a hoax was a huge mistake. Huge mistake by Donald Trump. Oh, funny boy. But now Mark Epstein is coming out. He said that he believed that his brother did not unalive himself. He said that his brother did not unalive himself. He also says Trump is trying to cover his butt. He has evidence and proof that Trump was best buddy with Jeffrey Epstein. And is going crazy about it. This piece of shit that boy wish he was that man. I'm telling you. Like I always tell y'all, we love to scoop the poop. Clean up after your dogs when you're walking them, because we love the dogs. We don't like stepping in the poop. I don't think Trump liked this poop he just stepped in by trying to dismiss the Jeffrey Epstein files and calling them a hoax, especially after he is the one who stood 10 toes on saying he's going to be transparent. And now people like Mark Epstein are coming out, calling him out. This article comes from the Daily Beast. Let's get into it. Jeffrey Epstein's brother, and I quote, says, Trump is trying to cover his butt. End quote. Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark, has spilled on the close relationship between the disgraced financier and old Donnie boy, despite the president's repeated dismissal. Now, we also going to go into Epstein's brother, Mark, saying and explaining about why he thinks Epstein did not unalive himself. But let's get into Mark calling out Trump on quote-unquote lying. This ain't me saying it. This Mark saying it. You want to get mad at Mark. Don't get mad at me. I'm just reporting the news. Speaking on CNN's Aaron Burnett up front on Tuesday, Mark Epstein found Trump for claims he did his friendship with the convicted ex-offender some time ago. CNN Trump claimed in 2019 that he was not a fan of the financier, that he did not want anything to do with him and had no respect for him. Moreover, Trump has attempted to sway a growing MAGA support over the release of the Epstein files. On Tuesday, claiming on Truth Social, we had the greatest 6 months of any president in the history of our country, and all the fake news wants to talk about is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Hold it right there, old Donnie boy. I got to give it to you straight. He said we had the greatest 6 months of any president in the history of our country. Many people might debate that. Many people might disagree with that, but that's not even what I'm focusing on in this quote. He says, and what the fake news wants to talk about is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let me correct you though, Donnie boy. You know I love you, Donnie boy. I love everybody, even though I gotta give you smoke. I got love for everybody. But it ain't the fake news that want to keep talking about Jeffrey Epstein. It's the people. Let's stop throwing around this fake news trigger phrase all the time. It's not the fake news that wants to talk about the Jeffrey Epstein files. It's the American people who want to talk about the Epstein files. Quit trying to defer and deflect. This is truth-telling flow, Donnie. Don't reject me, accept me, and listen to what I'm saying. It's not the fake news. It is everybody in the world who cares about what happens to our children. Quit saying it's the fake news, because it's not, and he knows it's not. This is what the people want. This is what the people want. Quit trying to play it off. Quit trying to throw us off with this word salad. That's cash, y'all. Since Cash want to be all on the podcast, say what's up to Cash. He got another restaurant coming. Everybody coming on the podcast today. The podcast jumping. But quit trying to play it off, because I'm going to hold the mirror up. And I'm going to say, look in this mirror, Trump, and listen to me well. I'm saying this with love. The fake news don't give a fuck. It's the people. And you knew it was the people. That's why you said you wanted the people's vote and the people's support. That's why you said you were going to expose all the Epstein files and bring transparency to this presidency. Now, all of a sudden, transparency ain't priority. And now you mad because we calling you out on it. How that work? Now you trying to put it on the fake news, and it ain't. It's the people. It's the people in this chat. It's the people on social media. It's the grandmas and the granddaughters and the mothers and the fathers, the everyday working American, 80% of MAGA, that want to know about these Epstein files, man. And the days they throw this shit off on fake news and all that. This ain't it. And Trump is feeling it. That's why he backtracked and tried to use some more word salad by saying we are going to, he asked Pam Bondi to release what he called pertinent information or credible information or important information. No. First you said you was moving on and you didn't want nobody's support. You found out that, more people, we not letting this Epstein thing go. Now you're trying to backtrack and say, we're going to give you, I'm having Pam Bondi give you pertinent info or credible info or important, whatever word you want to call it. But quit making it complicated. We want all the info. We don't want what you call the pertinent info or what you deem credible. Put all your cards down, face up. Quit. If there's nothing to hide, why are we doing all this song and dance and jumping through hoops for something that's supposed to be nothing? Why? If it's a nothing burger, like Trump making it out to be, if it's a hoax, put all the cards down, face up, and show us how it's a hoax. You're the president of the United States, the commander-in-chief of the most powerful country in the world. If it is a hoax, as you say it is, oh Donnie boy, then simply reveal all the files and show us how it's a hoax. Don't tell us a hoax and then keep it close to the chest. That makes us feel like we are being lied to. That makes us feel like we are being played. Because if it's a hoax and you got all the information, we'll fucking fork it over. It's simple. But no, you don't want to do that. You want to just keep us in the blind. And while we know horrific things have been done to our children, we know that there's a woman serving 20 years for in harming our children. You want to not reveal us anything and tell us it's a hoax and think we just supposed to say, oh, well, now that you said that, let's move on to how great of a president you are. We ain't going for it. And anybody who upset about this, too bad, so sad. We're not going for it. And that's just not me saying it. That's the general public. That's the society. That's everybody in this society is not going for it. So you're going to have to figure something else out. Even that talking about re-releasing pertinent information or whatever the hell your term was, that ain't enough. You're going to have to just bow down and do one of the hardest things it is for these politicians, Democrat, Republican, whoever, all of them. The hardest thing for them to do is just to serve the American people. And that's what they say beforehand. See, why he didn't say it was a hoax on his way into the presidency? Did you just find out it was a hoax? Well, did you always know it was a hoax? Why not beforehand? I know why, because you needed our support. And this is why I'm independent. And I've been independent for quite some time. I grew up a Democrat because my family was Democrat. But once I started digging just into the whole political spectrum, and then I started voicing and amplifying messages for the people, I just realized it's better off for me to just be independent. That way, I can give praise when praise is due, and I can give smoke when smoke is due. And people don't have to worry about, am I being biased? Am I this? No. I'm independent. I got smoke for them all. But if they do a great job, I also have flowers for both sides. But this particular thing ain't going nowhere. So let's continue in this article. Mark that the president is trying to cover his butt. I mean, look, I understand people trying to distance themselves from Jeffrey because of what he's charged with and the circumstances he found himself in. I understand that, but I know for a fact they were good friends and I witnessed it myself. Mark recalled being on a plane when the brother and Trump in 1999, the now president, made a crude joke about sexual history. So he said, Jeffrey used to sometimes tell me things that Donald would say that they thought were funny. I was talking to Jeffrey and he told me that he was talking to Donald. And he asked Donald, how come you sleep with so many married women? Epstein continued, and Donald's answer was, because it's so wrong. Now, amongst guys, it's just a funny line. Then when we were on the plane a week or two later, Jeffrey asked Donald the same question. I know he did that for my benefit so that I could hear Donald say it. And Jeffrey asked him, how come you sleep with so many married women? And Donald said, because it's so wrong. That this lewd joke demonstrated how it worked. Wasn't about how trifling that answer was or inappropriate or whatever, because this is just guys talking, whatever. But Mark was saying that just shows you how close they were for Trump to be talking that kind of shit. Just ask him that question. That Donald slept with a lot of married women. And he probably got that information from Donald. That's not the kind of question you ask a casual acquaintance. That's a question you ask a good friend that you can get away with asking those kind of questions. So that gives you an idea of how friendly they really were. Epstein's brother also claimed Trump was not being honest about a CNN interview. And this CNN interview was with Epstein's victim, Maria Farmer, on Tuesday, where she recalled meeting Donald Trump in Jeffrey Epstein's office in 1995. Stephen Chung, the White House communications director, slammed story to meet Trump in Epstein's office. Now, in a statement to CNN, Chung said he was never in Epstein's office, and in fact, the president kicked him out of his club for being a creep. How the fuck ever? Mark said staff who worked for his brother could vouch for Trump's presence in the office. Trump said he wasn't in the office. Mark is saying he has plenty of people who will vouch for saying that Trump was in this office. This thing is getting hairy. This thing is getting hairy. Listen to this, y'all. Mark says that's just another blatant lie because he was there. The people that work with Jeffrey in his office, they can testify that they saw Trump in Jeffrey's office on numerous occasions. So for him to say he wasn't there, all I can say is that is simply just another lie. Another lie, as said by Mark. I say again, these words make you upset, go fucking hit up Mark. It's Mark saying it. I am the messenger. I am only reading the words that CNN and Mark Epstein have said. You got a problem, go see their ass. Don't come fucking with me about it. I'm just delivering the news. But I know it makes some of you upset to hear people who have something to say who were actually around the situation. The Daily Beast has contacted the White House for comments, and they haven't got a response. Mark said he and his late brother were always in contact, but did not know the extent of his siblings' criminal behavior until a meeting in 2006. I recalled when he told me that he was getting in trouble for being with girls that were too young. He said he was stupid, but he wanted me to hear it from him as opposed to hearing it on the news. He wanted to be unsolved, despite FBI investigations and that he took his own life in jail. 2009. Mark said he does not accept the FBI findings and that as a next of kin, he had to identify the body the day after his brother died. He said, as well as the city's doctor. The family had their own at the autopsy. Came out of the autopsy a couple hours later, and they heard not called unaliving, homicide. They were very clear about that. This is his brother saying this. Again, his brother said they came out of the autopsy a couple hours later, and they both concurred that they could not call it an unaliving because it looked too much like a homicide. This thing is getting serious, or I shouldn't even say getting serious. This thing has gotten serious, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger by the day. This is not something that you're going to be able to sweep under the rug. As you can see, the American people are pissed and want answers and are not settling for any more word salad. And I'm proud of it. I like to see that the people are standing up and not. Oh, am I breaking up? Let me see if I move this. If you're on Wi-Fi, try to plug it into your computer or Wi-Fi. Right. Melissa says, maybe if I take it off. Oh, yeah, it's a little better when I moved over here. Let's see. Is it better now? Is it better now, Tracy? It got a little better when I moved over here. Let's see. All right. So far, so good. All right. So, oh, nice, on the 23rd. Okay, so I'm gonna say this part again. This is what Mark Epstein said. Mark Epstein said about the FBI findings about his brother unaliving himself, Jeffrey Epstein. He said he had his own pathologist at the autopsy. When they did the autopsy, he said they came out of the autopsy after a couple hours and said that they could not call it an unaliving. They called it, they said it was too much. They said it was too much evidence that showed it could possibly be a homicide. This is what Mark Epstein said that his pathologist said after the autopsy. This is huge news. This is a brother saying it. This is a brother saying it. This isn't fake news source or some podcast or YouTuber speculating. This is the brother who was there. He said with the family had their own pathologist at the autopsy, and this pathologist said, "We can't call this an unaliving. This looks too much like a homicide. This thing is heating up. It is already heated up, and it's not getting any better." Angie said she about to light up and thought I haven't seen her comment yet this morning. Angie F, yeah, where is she? Maybe she slept in today. Maybe she had to work today. Maybe. Yeah, I hope she good. Did she have anything to do today? Steph says Epstein's brother did an interview with Tucker. It's a good watch. Epstein did not unalive himself. Yeah, this thing's getting crazy, y'all. And now we got we definitely got more shit heating up. And I don't know what Trump gonna do. And on top of that, y'all, check this out. We ain't done yet. The DOJ officially just put out an article or a statement, actually in an article, that says the DOJ DOJ official expects to meet with Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, or whatever you want to call her, Ghislaine Maxwell, soon. Y'all, this ain't going nowhere. I'm telling y'all, this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And all Trump did when Trump said it was a hoax, he didn't do anything but make it bigger, man. He got people who wasn't even involved in it. Now they involved with it. Trump has people who weren't even involved, wasn't even caring about the Epstein files. He now has those people screaming, what the hell is going on? And now we're getting articles saying that the DOJ expects to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell soon. Light one up for this one, y'all. This one's a doozy. A top Department of Justice official said Tuesday that he intends to meet soon with Ghislaine Maxwell, the British socialite who is now serving a 20-year prison term for her role in Jeffrey Epstein's sexual Epstein's sex trafficking enterprise, to ask her, what do you know about other potential sexual abuse? To make sure it was plugged up. The extraordinary announcement by Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche comes after weeks of controversy and criticism of the Trump administration for recently reneging on promises to make public more details of investigative files about the late money manager Epstein and Maxwell. Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand? If she gets to talking to the DOJ and get to revealing everything she knows, she might have more information. I imagine she does. She probably, when she didn't have the support, it's kind of hard to come out and speak against people, especially powerful people, when you don't really have the support. And you remember it when all this was going down, her name was Mud. But now with all the lies and the reneging and all that, there's a lot more support for Ghislaine to even hear, like, okay, we know you were, part of this shit, but if you were at least willing to help us out or to help the American people out and tell what you know, we might give you a chance. President Donald Trump, who years ago had been a friend of Epstein, especially we've just had details of that from Mark, had scoffed under criticism and suggested that the furor over the withholding of the Epstein file is a hoax cooked up by the Democrats. Blanche's statement on X, which was retweeted by Attorney General Pam Bondi, raised the question of whether Maxwell will cooperate with the DOJ, possibly in hopes of receiving a reduction in her prison term. So she may be cooperating. Hopefully she's cooperating, hoping that she can get some reduction on her prison term, get early release, or even a pardon, which I don't know. If you're selling information on Trump, I mean, you might get a reduction, but I don't see a pardon happening, but we'll see. Maxwell's lawyer, David Marcus, in his own X post wrote, I can confirm that we are in discussions with the government and that Ghislaine will always testify truthfully. We are grateful to President Trump for his commitment to uncovering the truth in this case, wrote Marcus. Maxwell, who we all know, was convicted in 2021 of crimes related to procuring and grooming younger girls to be essayed by Epstein, who allegedly or apparently or what they're saying, he unalived himself in jail after being arrested for this stuff. She has asked the Supreme Court to hear an appeal of her conviction in the U.S. District Court in Manhattan. President Trump has told us to release all credible evidence, they wrote. in the social media post. If Ghislaine Maxwell, now when they say release all credible evidence, who is determining what's credible? Is it determined by Trump was credible, by Pam was credible, by the courts was credible? Who determines what get released? That right there, that statement doesn't seem very transparent. Because at the end of the day, you picking and choosing what you release when you should just be releasing the files is all what we have been told. If Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what he has to say. Therefore, at the direction of Attorney General Bondi, I have communicated with counsel for Ms. Maxwell to determine whether she will be willing to speak with prosecutors from the department. I anticipate meeting with Ms. Maxwell in the coming days. Until now, no administration on behalf of the department had inquired about her willingness to meet with the government. Blanche says that changes now. Now they are with, nobody wanted to hear, in other words, nobody wanted to hear what the hell Ghislaine had to say up until now. Nobody wanted to hear what Ghislaine had to say up until now. Now, if she starts talking, man, I just hope don't nothing happen to her. This case is so crazy. You even worry about the people who coming out speaking. I hope nothing happen to her. She hopes she don't come up missing before she get a chance to tell more information. But Blanche also tweeted, Department of Justice does not shy away from uncomfortable truths nor from the responsibility to pursue justice wherever the facts may lead. He said that a joint statement issued on July 6th by the DOJ and the FBI remains as accurate today as it was when it was written. Namely, that in the recent thorough review of the files maintained by the FBI in the Epstein case, no evidence was uncovered that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Justice demands courage for the first time. The Department of Justice is reaching out to Ghislaine Maxwell to ask, what do you know? Why is this the first time they're asking her that? Because they've been, hey, look, you can answer the question. You can answer that question yourself. Blanche also, Todd also says, I've contacted her counsel and I intend to meet with her. The Department of Justice does not shy away from uncomfortable truths, nor from the responsibility to pursue justice wherever the facts may be. The joint statement by the DOJ and FBI of July 6th remains as accurate today as it was then. Todd previously served as a criminal defense attorney for Trump when the president was charged in a series of felony cases between his first and second stints in the White House. Trump on Tuesday told reporters, I don't know about it. This is what he said when he was asked what he thought about Todd's outreach to Ghislaine's lawyer. But Trump went on to say, I do think it's something that would be and sounds appropriate to do. That's what he said about reaching out to Ghislaine. Now, asked if he had any concern about Todd being the one to question Maxwell, given his past work for the president as an actual defense lawyer, Trump replied, no, I have no concern. He's a very talented person. He's very smart, Trump said of Todd. I don't really follow that too much, Trump said, of the Epstein controversy, which he has been talking about for the past 2 weeks. Trump went on to say it's sort of a witch hunt and just a continuation of the witch hunt. Y'all, I don't know who is advising Trump, but I don't think he's handling this well. And I think he's making it worse with every answer. And with, constantly saying it's a hoax or a witch hunt. Man, if it's all of that, if it's a witch hunt, if it's a hoax, you have the power to let us see all the files and show us how it's a witch hunt. Show us how it's a hoax. But for some reason, you're not doing that. Some reason, you think they just want to tell us whatever they want us to believe and make us run with that without following up with it. And this ain't over. This ain't over. And it ain't going nowhere no time soon. I just put the link to my podcast in the chat. If you want to support the podcast, y'all, and keep platforms like this open so we can continue to press the issue and go where legacy media don't want to go and ask the questions that Donnie Boy and everybody, not just Donald Trump, all of the people in power, whether you're Democrat, whether you're Republican, whether you're just a celebrity, whether you're just an elite, whether you just got all the fucking money in the world, they don't want certain questions being asked, and they are used to being able to control the narrative. Our power is in supporting platforms that will ask the questions and dig deep into the problems that we want. If you want to support, keep the lights on the Flow Show No Filter. Please subscribe with the Buzzsprout subscription link. It is in the notes. If you're listening to this on Apple and Spotify, it's in the show notes. If you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, it's in the description box. On Facebook, same thing. Also, I put it in the chat. I don't know what the problem is with the Wi-Fi, but today we just had bad Wi-Fi. This is what we get, and when you're dealing with technology. So other than that, y'all, I just don't understand. I don't know what's gonna happen. The only way to get this back in order is to just release the files. This isn't going to be one that you're going to be able to talk people into. You're not going to be able to convince people that they're not important or it's a hoax. When you got people serving 20 years, you got a man who's not here anymore. You got speculation around, did he unalive himself? Did someone else do it? You got all that going on. The only way to get out of that, and the only way to make the American people feel comfortable is to reveal it. Quit hiding, quit dodging, quit deflecting, quit telling us what we want and what we care about don't matter. You can't tell us and convince us that you've been the best president for 6 months. That's up to us to say that. Oh, Donnie Boy don't realize you can't make us feel like you're the best president or make us feel like your first 6 months has been the best. That feeling has to be natural. And that comes from being transparent, being honest, holding yourself accountable, not pointing your finger and telling us I'm the best you ever had and that's it. So as we go forward in this Epstein shit fire, We're going to see how it turns out, but it's not getting better. The truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. Great, excellent commentary, Rhodes. But at this rate, flowing with flow, we're going to have to see, y'all. But I'm telling you, this Epstein thing, they about to start talking to Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein's brother is speaking out. He's telling us what the pathologist, his own family people and experts are saying that Epstein did not unalive himself. Too much uncertainty, especially when we're dealing with our children. Spend another hour of the Flow Show No Filter every day at 8:30 a.m. We're going to keep a close watch on this whole Epstein situation and whatever else comes out in the media. We always keeping a side eye on Diddy. Any Diddy news, sentencing, anything comes up, you know, we got it. Yanni says, I find it very suspicious that the trust Epstein created right before his death has been moving money. True. Any last statements anybody would like to make? I will post the last statements before we get out of here. Any last statements about Epstein, about Diddy, or about anything that's going on right now before we get out of here? Anybody got some final statements on this whole Epstein crap with Trump and just everything that's going on? I would definitely like to hear it before we get the fuck out of here. Shout out to Rachel. Of course. Shout out to Ozzy Osbourne. I'm glad you brought that up. Told you to remind me. Can't get out of here without showing proper respects to somebody, another icon that we lost. Ozzy Osbourne. So I don't know what the cause of death was. Does anybody know what the cause of death? I'm going to go through this real quick. Ozzy Osbourne's cause of death, what we know so far. Just weeks after the final farewell show with Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne has died. The rock icon was 76 years old. Osbourne's family confirmed his passing on July 22nd and released a heartfelt statement announcing the tragic news. It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. The family statement was given to TMZ. He was with family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time. What was Ozzy Osbourne's cause of death? The War Pigs singer's cause of death was still unclear at the time of this publication. This is heartbreaking news story that was just published. Osbourne's music publicist confirmed that he died in his native United Kingdom. So we don't know, unless y'all know. They're saying we don't know the cause of death. I don't know if anybody in the chat may have heard something or know something that may have came out after this publication, which is from the Newsweek, actually, and Parade. Ozzy Osbourne children. Everybody's paying respect. If y'all know anything, let me know. Okay, somebody's saying Parkinson's. Somebody's saying Parkinson's. No doubt, no problem, Lily. Somebody said Parkinson's. Like I said, they're saying that they don't have anything confirmed, but definitely, y'all, definitely another sad moment. Angelina says, rest in peace, Ozzy, and love to his family and friends at this time. Definitely a sad situation. A lot of people reacting. And if I find out any more besides the Parkinson's or anything else about his death, I'm sure they're gonna be doing more investigation just to find out exactly what happened. I will bring that to y'all. But thank you, y'all. Let's get the I'm outs in the chat. Rest in peace, Ozzy. And thank you for everybody joining me on another The Flow Show, No Filter, 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. See you tomorrow on Thirsty Thursday. C Tuck says, I'm out. Have a safe and wonderful day, everybody. Angelique says, I'm out. Anitra says, I'm out. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Punk Rock Girl says, I'm out. Steph says, I'm out. Terry Rose says, I'm out. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Melissa says, love and blessings to the Flow Show fam and the Wake and Bake crew. I am out. Desi says, good night and good day to you all. I'm out. They pouring in, y'all. Let's get a couple more before we get the hell out of here. I bet on the fact that, and Maxwell has already logged off, if you will. For sure. Rachel says, I'm out. Happy birthday. Love and blessings from Angela. Let's hope Angie F. Yanni says, puff, puff, pass, flow fam. Angela says, NYC is out. Let's hope that Angie F., if anybody hears anything, Lily says, happy sweet 16th birthday to your daughter, Rachel. Yes, Rachel, happy sweet 16 to your daughter, Rachel. Tell her Flo said happy birthday and enjoy it. Live it up. Okay, Tracy said, Parkinson's is not a cause, but the progression can be less than 5 months survival. So yeah, all type of it. And let's prayers for prayers for Angie F. Let's hope she resurfaces tomorrow or even on the replay of this. Angie F., we all worried about you. If you watch the replay, leave us a comment. And other than that, y'all, I love y'all. But like Tracy said, I'm out.